Hello students, today I am going to begin chapter 5 of geometry, that is quadrilaterals. First I will tell you about the basic concepts of the quadrilateral. What is quadrilateral, what is its quality, and then we will solve some problem sums related to quadrilateral. So first thing is, what is a quadrilateral? A quadrilateral means any four-sided figure is known as quadrilateral. Triangle, you already know about triangle. Any three-sided plane figure is known as triangle. Same way, any four-sided plane figure is known as quadrilateral. Here I have drawn two quadrilaterals. You can see on the board. This one, first one, ABCD. This one is a quadrilateral, and this also you can see here also four sides, AD, BC, BC and AB. So this is also a quadrilateral. So any four-sided plane figure is known as quadrilateral. Now you can see here any quadrilateral has four sides, and what is the name of its side? AB, BC, CD and AD. These are the four sides of the quadrilateral. Quadrilateral has four angles. This one here you can name it BAD. Here this one, this is ADC. This angle can be written as BCD, and this angle ABC. So a quadrilateral has four angles and it has two diagonals. So, okay, so this one is the quadrilateral, and what is the difference between these two quadrilaterals? Here you can see all the angles, the inner angles of the quadrilateral is less than 180 degree. If it is less than 180 degree, so this is known as convex quadrilateral. And this one here, one angle is more than 180 degrees, so this is known as concave quadrilateral. So there are two basic types of quadrilateral, that is convex quadrilateral and concave quadrilateral. We will only study about the convex quadrilateral here in this chapter. This type of the question based on this concave quadrilateral is removed from your portion, so we will not discuss, but you should know what is actually the meaning of concave quadrilateral, and I hope it is clear. Once again I am explaining you. Here you can see all the four angles of this one, this quadrilateral is less than 180, and here one angle is more than 180. So where any one angle, an angle is more than 180 in a quadrilateral, then that is known as concave quadrilateral, and if all the angles are less than 180, then it is known as convex quadrilateral. So we will study about this one only, convex quadrilateral. Now the other detail about the convex quadrilateral we will discuss. Now interior and exterior of the quadrilateral. We have learned about this interior and exterior in the case of triangle also, same way here also. The points which are inside the quadrilateral are known as interior points, and the points which are on the quadrilateral are known as point on the quadrilateral, and the points which are lying outside the quadrilateral is known as exterior of the quadrilateral. So in this diagram you can see P, Q, R are the interior of the quadrilateral. Point P, Q, R, since these points are inside the quadrilateral, so they are known as interior of the quadrilateral. Point S, you can say that this is on the quadrilateral, lies on the quadrilateral. The point T, U and V is the exterior of the quadrilateral. Now types of parallelogram. In that first we will discuss about the types of quadrilateral, So in that first we will discuss about the parallelogram. So what is parallelogram? Parallelogram means a quadrilateral is called parallelogram if its opposite sides are parallel. Opposite sides are parallel. Here see, AB and DC is the opposite side, AD and BC is the opposite sides, and if these opposite sides are parallel to each other, then this type of figure, this type of quadrilateral is known as parallelogram. Now some other properties related to the parallelogram. The first property is both opposite sides are parallel to each other. That means AB is parallel to CD and AD is parallel to BC. The other property is its opposite sides are equal also to each other. Like means AB is equal to CD. Here I have written AB is equal to CD and AD is equal to BC. Opposite sides are parallel and equal to each other. The second property is its opposite angles are also equal. Here you can see angle D is equal to angle B. These two angles are known as opposite angles, and these two angles are equal to each other in case of parallelogram. This is the property of parallelogram. And angle A and angle C, these two angles are known as opposite angles, and these two angles are also equal. So the two properties which we have discussed just now, that the opposite angles are equal and the opposite sides are also equal in case of the parallelogram. Now third property of the parallelogram is the consecutive angles are supplementary. What is the meaning of consecutive angles? Consecutive angles means this angle A and angle B. These two angles are known as consecutive angle. Angle A and angle D. These two are consecutive to each other. Angle B and angle C are consecutive. B and C are consecutive. Then the sum of these two angles, this one and this one, A and B, B and C and B and C. The sum of these two angles are equal to 180 degrees. Supplementary means the sum of these two angles is equal to 180 degree. It means angle A plus angle B is equal to 180 degree. You can write it completely also. BAB angle BAB plus angle ABC is equal to 180 degree. Same way you can write angle B plus angle C is equal to 180 degree, and this C and D is equal to 180. A and D also is 180 degree. This is the third property, that is consecutive angles are supplementary in case of parallelogram. Now fourth property is two diagonals bisect each other. Here these are the two diagonals. What is the name of the diagonal in this case? AC and BD. These are the two diagonals. AC and BD are the two diagonals, and these two diagonals intersect at a point O. The two lines where they meet each other is known as point of intersection. So here these two diagonals are meeting at O. So this is the point of intersection. So these two diagonals intersect each other at O, and it is given here that these two diagonals bisect each other. Bisect each other means what? They divide this line into two equal parts. It means this point O divides BD and AC into two equal parts. It means OA and OC is equal, and OD and OB is also equal. O is bisecting this line and O is bisecting as well this line, this diagonal also. So you can write it OA is equal to OC and OB is equal to OD. OB is equal to OD. Next is about rectangle, another type of parallelogram, that is rectangle. So what is rectangle? A parallelogram is called rectangle if one of its angle is a right angle. This is also, you can see it is a parallelogram because two sides are parallel to each other, opposite sides are parallel to each other. So rectangle is also a type of parallelogram, and what is the special property of this parallelogram is its each angle is equal to 90 degree. All four angles are 90 degree, and another property of this parallelogram or this rectangle is its two diagonals are equal to each other, which was not there in the parallelogram, and all other property of parallelogram is also applicable here. But these two are the extra things which is applicable in this diagram, that two diagonals are equal. In case of simple parallelogram which we have discussed, in that the diagonals were not equal to each other and the angles was also not compulsorily 90 degree, but here it will be 90 degree. Next is rhombus. So what is rhombus? A parallelogram is called rhombus if its two adjacent sides are equal. Adjacent sides are equal means AB and AD is equal. And you all know this is a parallelogram. So parallelogram means its opposite sides are equal in parallelogram. So AB is equal to BC also and AB is equal to AD. According to the definition of the rhombus, its adjacent sides are equal means AB and DC will be equal and BC and DC will be equal. And according to the definition of parallelogram, this and this AB and CD is also equal. So in short, you will get all the sides of the rhombus will be equal. The property of rhombus is all its sides will be equal. AB, BC, CD and AD. All four sides of a rhombus will be equal to each other. And the second property of the rhombus is its two diagonals are perpendicular to each other. Here the two diagonals are AC and BD. AC and BD are the two diagonals and you can see these diagonals intersect here at 90 degree. They bisect each other perpendicularly means they make 90 degree with each other. Here this angle, this angle, this and this, all these angles are 90 degrees. So this is the property of rhombus. Now square, I hope you all know what is square. Square means it is a special this parallelogram in which all four sides are equal. AB is equal to BC is equal to CD is equal to BA. All four sides are equal. All opposite sides are parallel to each other like in parallelogram. And one more thing, all the angles are equal to inner angles are equal to 90 degree. Means you can say that it is a type of another type of rectangle in which the all sides are equal, because in rectangle also the inner angle is 90 degree, they are parallel and opposite sides are equal. Here all four sides are equal. So in short we can say that in a square all four sides are equal. Its all angle is also 90 degree and the property about diagonal is its diagonal bisect each other and they bisect at 90 degree means they are perpendicular to each other. This diagonal AC and BD is perpendicular to each other. I have written also this thing here, AC and BD is perpendicular. This is the sign of symbol of perpendicular. So AC and BD is perpendicular to each other and they intersect at a point O and it is a bisector also. Bisector means O bisects this BD and O is bisecting AC. It means OA is equal to OC, this, and here this one. OD is equal to OB. This and this is equal means O is bisecting it, dividing it into two equal parts. So this is the property of square. Again I am repeating, AB is parallel to BC, AB is parallel to BC, AD is parallel to BC and all four sides are equal. All the angles are equal and they all are equal to 90 degree. Their diagonals are equal, AC and BD is equal and they are perpendicular to each other. This is the symbol of perpendicular and these are bisector also means this OA is equal to OC, OD is equal to OB. So these are the properties of parallelogram. Now next is angle sum property of quadrilateral. So what is angle sum property? Here is a quadrilateral and these are four angles, interior angles of the quadrilateral. Then according to the angle sum property of quadrilateral, the sum of all the interior angle of quadrilateral is always equal to 360 degree. This is known as angle sum property of quadrilateral. It means angle A plus angle B plus angle C plus angle D. The sum of all four angles is equal to 360 degree. We will now do the sum based on this property. Now let us do exercise related to the quadrilateral what we have discussed now. So now exercise 5. Some questions are given in which you have to only find out what is true statement here. So let us discuss that and then we will solve some problem sums related to that. The first question is, which of the following are true? Question number 1 is, which of the following are true? So first statement given is, a convex quadrilateral has all the angles less than 180 degree. A concave quadrilateral has an angle greater than 180 degree. The sum of four angles of a quadrilateral is equal to 5 right angles. A convex quadrilateral may have reflex angle. So here first one, a convex quadrilateral has all the angles less than 180 degree. I explained in the beginning. So this statement is true. The second one also true. A concave quadrilateral has an angle greater than 180 degree. This is the definition of concave quadrilateral I explained you. So this one is also true. So first and second is true in the question number 1. Now question number 2. Study the adjoining figure and identify the true statement. Only you have to identify which points are interior, which points are exterior. Very easy. You can identify, but let us discuss. The point Q and U lies in the interior of the quadrilateral. No, this is false. Q and U is not inside the quadrilateral. It is outside. So first statement is false. The point R and T do not lie on the quadrilateral. Yes, this is true. Why it is true? Because R and T, you can see in the figure, they are inside the quadrilateral. So they are interior, not lying on the. So this statement is true. Now the point P lies on the quadrilateral. Yes, this is also true. P lies on the quadrilateral. The point S lies in the exterior of the quadrilateral. S lying exterior of the quadrilateral. This is also true. So third, fourth, second, third and fourth, these three statements are true in this question. So I hope you can do these exercises. Let us do now that question number 7. These questions only 4, 5, 6 you can do as a homework, because in these questions only you have to identify which are the true statements. So I explained all the things. So you can take help of the video and you can do these questions. Now I am going to do question number 7. Now question number 7 is, if two adjacent sides of a parallelogram are 12 centimeter and 8 centimeter, find its perimeter. So here I have drawn the diagram. It is a parallelogram and its two adjacent side is, one side is 12 centimeter and the other side is 8 centimeter. And you know that opposite sides of the parallelogram is equal. So this will be 8 centimeter, then this is also 8 centimeter, and this is 12. So this will also be 12 centimeter. And now you have to find the perimeter. So you know perimeter means sum of all the sides. Here you can write the formula also if you know, sum of all sides. And then you can write 12 centimeter plus 8 centimeter plus 12 centimeter plus 8 centimeter. And when you will add, you will get 40 centimeter. So this is your answer. Sum of all sides of the parallelogram is equal to its perimeter and it will come 40 centimeter. Second one, the perimeter of a parallelogram is 24 centimeter. One of its side is 8 centimeter. Find the other side. So perimeter is given, one side is given. You have to find the other side. So first you note down what is given. Perimeter 24 centimeter. One side is equal to how much? 8 centimeter. You have to find the other side. Other side you have to find out. Let the other side be x. Till now you have learned algebra, so you know how to use x. So now you know the formula for perimeter. Perimeter is equal to sum of all sides. Perimeter is equal to 24 centimeter. One side is 8 centimeter. Other side is x. Then again we know opposite side is again 8 centimeter plus x. You can write 2 times of this. Also one more method is there, but this is easy. You can do this way. So 8 plus 8, it is 16 centimeter plus 2x. 24 centimeter is equal to 16 centimeter plus 2x. Or you can write 2x is equal to, you transfer this 16 centimeter this side. So 24 centimeter minus 16 centimeter. So you will subtract, what you will get here? 8 centimeter. 2x is equal to 8 centimeter, then x is equal to 8 centimeter by 2, that is 4 centimeter. So other side is equal to 4 centimeter. This is your answer. Question number 8, first one. If one of the angle of a parallelogram measures 75, find the other angles. So here I have drawn one parallelogram in which one angle is given 75 degree and you have to find other three angles. So you know that property, according we have to use here the property of parallelogram. We know in case of the parallelogram the opposite angles are equal. So directly we can find this angle B. If angle B is given angle given that angle B is equal to 75 degree. Therefore, angle D is also 75. Here you can write the reason. The reason is opposite angles are equal. Now you have to find the other two angles. So if you will find angle A, then this angle will be equal to that. So we know that angle A, another property of the parallelogram we will use here, that the two adjacent angles are supplementary. So here let angle A is equal to x. So here x plus 75 degree is equal to 180 degree. In bracket you can write the reason, that adjacent angle, what property you will write? Adjacent angle of a parallelogram is supplementary. This property you are using here. So x plus 75 is equal to 180 degree. Therefore x is equal to 180 degree minus 75 degree, that is 105 degree. So this is 105. Angle C is also, angle A is equal to 105 degree. Therefore angle C is also equal to 105 degree. These are your answer. Now question number 9. If three angles of a quadrilateral are 45 degree, 75 degree and 140 degree, find the fourth angle. So I have drawn here diagram of a quadrilateral. Three angles are given and you have to find the fourth angle in this. So here let the fourth angle be x. We will assume that the fourth angle be x, and now we will use the angle sum property of a quadrilateral. So what is angle sum property of a quadrilateral? According to the angle sum property of quadrilateral, sum of all the four angles is equal to 360 degree. It means x plus 75 degree plus 140 degree plus 145 degree. The sum of all four angles is equal to 360 degree. So I have written that x plus 75 degree plus 45 degree plus 140 degree is equal to 360 degree. Now we will solve this. So x plus, when we will add this 75 plus 45, it will be 120 plus 140 degree. You can add in one line also if you want. So it will be x plus 260 degree is equal to 360 degree, or you can write x is equal to 360 degree minus 260 degree, that is 100 degree. X is equal to 100 degree. So the unknown fourth angle x is equal to 100 degree. This is your answer. Now question number 10th, first one. If the angles of a quadrilateral are in the ratio of 1:2:3:4, find the angles. So here the four angles of a quadrilateral are given in the form of ratio. So you have learned in the chapter ratio, if it is given in form of ratio, so how you can write in form of angles in that one. So we can take a constant term and we can change this ratio as a simple angles. So here the angles are x, 2x, 3x, 4x. So this ratio can be written in this way also, x, 2x, 3x and 4x. And now we will use the angle sum property, that is sum of all four angles are equal to 360 degree. So add this, x plus 2x plus 3x plus 4x is equal to 360 degree. So when you will add, this will come 6 plus 4, 10x. 10x is equal to 360 degree. Therefore, x is equal to 360 degree by 10, 36 degree. So value of x is 36 degree. So the angles you can find, angles is equal to, first angle will be 36 degree, the second will be 2 into x, that is 2 into 36 degree, that is 72 degree. Third angle will be 3 into x is equal to 3 into 36 degree. (108 degree). And now the fourth angle I am writing here, the fourth angle is fourth angle is equal to 4 into x, 4 into 36 degree, that is 144 degree. So this is your answer. First is 36, 72, 108 and 144. So this. Now question number 11. Find x and y in the following parallelograms. So first diagram I have drawn here. This is a parallelogram. Here this angle is given 60 degree. This is x and this is y. So you have to find the value of x degree and y degree. This unknown angles. So here you know, in case of parallelogram, opposite angles are equal. So this angle will be 60 degree. This is 60 degree using the property of parallelogram, and these two are the linear pair, are supplementary. So x plus 60 degree is equal to 180 degree. You can see this is a straight angle. X plus 60 is equal to 180. So x is equal to 180 degree minus 60 degree, that is 120 degree. X is 120 degree. This is your first answer. Now you have to find the value of y. So you know this angle B and angle C. These two angles are supplementary to each other using the property of parallelogram. So this angle will be 120 degree because these two angles are supplementary. Their sum is equal to 180 degree. So 60 plus angle BCD. 60 degree plus angle BCD is equal to 180 degree by these are supplementary angle. So now here angle BCD is equal to 180 minus 60 degree, it will be 120 degree, and if this is 120 then y is equal to 180 minus 120, that is 60 degree. So this is the answer. First one, x is 120 and y is 60. Now go down some homework. So we have discussed question number 1 and 2 which you have to do in the book. So question number 1 to question number 6 you have to do in the book only. And now question number 8, second one, 10, second one, and question number 11, second and third. That 3-4 questions you have to do in the copy, and what other question I have explained, that you have to do in the copy. Question number 1, which 1 to 6, in which only you have to find true statements, that you have to do in the book only. That questions you will not do in copy. Thank you.